And how's everyone feeling today? How are you guys doing? How are you handling yourselves out there? Hope that you're doing well. Hope you're feeling good. Man, it's going to be a great evening right now for myself. Hope it's going to be for you. Let's go ahead, if you don't mind, you're already here, you've clicked on the video. We're going to do a full album listen today. We are going to listen to Pekka, Pohjola. We are going to listen to his 1979 album, Visitation. Now, the album, listen, the album hasn't necessarily been recommended like in one, fell swoop by anyone, but there have been a few calls to listen to more from this musician here. Specifically, just a call you out here, Linus, thank you so much because you have been pushing recently for myself to listen to some more from him, so I'm happy to. To tell you the truth, I've actually added this album onto my wish list many months ago, as I have with many albums, and I knew I would listen to it at some point, so today is that day in which we're going to go ahead and enjoy and listen to the album. I hope that you guys are excited for it. There's only about 6 songs on the album, and I believe that it's instrumental as far as I know. We have listened to one song from him before, Mathematician's Air Display, which was nice. So yeah, I just wanted to listen to this one here, and like I said, the album cover really got my attention from this one, so that's kind of where we're at right now. Hopefully I don't have to edit this on YouTube. I'm not planning on editing this one. I just want to jive with it. Just want to listen to it, fly with it, let it take us where it's going to go. Once again, I'm excited to get into it, and I hope that you guys are as well. To settle in with me for a little bit, this is that moment. This is that time before the journey begins, before liftoff and takeoff happens. This is when you grab the drink, relax a little bit, settle in, settle down with me. Might have been a hard day at work. You may have cut the lawn. You may have put the kids to sleep. Now's the time for you, me, and JP to... Why did I say me and JP? It's time for you and me and Pekka to relax, listen to the music, and we're going to go sailing on some vibes, of which I do not know, but we soon will. Hope that you guys are ready to take the journey with me. Let's go ahead and start with the first track here. I'm probably going to stop it after every one, starting with Strange Awakening. Let's go ahead and get up. That starts with some deep darkness, huh? Deep piano chords. Turn up just a little bit. This is beginning some sort of mysterious. There you go. Okay. Oh, I love those horns there. I love that melody. It has a sway, but it's kind of dark as well. Listen, you cannot tell me that that is not like such an opener for the album. Okay, like go and comment right now. Before we go any further, just please do me a favor. If you're going to comment, I want the comment right now. Did this not like inspire you? Did this not like make you want to listen to more? This is the first track on the album, and if you haven't heard it alongside with me, or you haven't heard it in period, like doesn't this make you want to listen to more? Tell me about that melody. How like excellent is that? Dun da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun da 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 da. Okay. Oh, that is so good. Pekka, of course, is playing bass on here, and he's also handling the piano, which we heard in the beginning, really setting you up for this very like gothic in a way kind of mood. Like it's very dark and moody, like very dark. And then slowly, the melody and the rest of the music is kind of lightened up, but not so much because throughout its runtime here, I gotta tell you, doesn't the heaviness of this jazz, because this is like a heavy jazz that you're getting in here, isn't it? I mean, to me, it kind of sounds like if you just change the instrument slightly and a few things here and there, you really have like a doom metal track here. Like you could easily go into a heavy metal direction, even with those horns, of course. Like that is just blistering. The horns here are going to be performed by quite a few people, actually. You have one, two, three, four saxophonists actually featured here. I'm going to mispronounce names. I apologize, but I want to at least try and give credit where credit's due. Pekka Pori, Juhani Altonen, Eero Koivu, I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry, and Timu Salminen on the saxophone on here, and all of them are just Jesus. And then what I think is really cool is on the back half of this track, amongst that chaotic climax, amongst everyone going dun, da, 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 dun, 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 all that, you hear Pekka come in with a bass solo. And amongst the fire, amongst the flames, he comes out like Hades himself, just putting it down. And how incredible does his bass solo sound in the midst of that? The music doesn't get quieter for him. He doesn't need it to quiet down because he has presence. He has stage appeal, and he puts it on full display for us. I think that was absolutely fantastic. Everything else, the drumming, I thought was really nice in here as well. Drumming is going to be handled. Hold on, let me see if I can find who's handling drums. That may be, from what I can tell, it seems that's going to be Altonen. Sorry for mispronouncing the names again, by the way. But just absolutely incredible. This was like such a great first track. I'm really excited to get into this one even further because the music had this very like I kind of said it, but this very shadowy quality to it. And obviously the track is called Strange Awakening and the album's called Visitation. This is just where my mind goes. I'm like, you've summoned something. You've summoned something, and you are trying to put that spirit back, and you can't. You made the choice. That I know that like that's what I'm like hearing and seeing. I think that that's amazing. And once again, I think that kind of works with the album cover, which has this really beautifully like shadowy, eerie kind of quality to it, but there's still a nice beauty to it. Anyways, awesome first track. Let's go ahead, roll it into the next one, which is going to be Vapor Trails. Let's go. Put it down. Oh, this one's jamming. Okay. Trying to catch it. I like how bass and piano are following while guitar is leading. I can't follow that change every time it comes in. I like how that guitar is just going. Just soaring. Break it down. It's that growly sound. That Pekka bass. This is kind of beachy now. This is the bass line. You hear him? See how the piano and the bass like. Hear those loungy keys. Dude, this is good. Downward spiral coming in. Oh, I thought we were gonna get like a big drum break there. I like how they brought it right back to this. Man, they hit that strong fusion tide on this one. They went right into the waves. They crept into the ocean. The first song was a creep, creep, creep from the haunted lighthouse, and now we are deep in the waves, just getting bowled over by these waves. Huge shout out to the guitarist here, Sepotini, who's going to be playing guitar from now on in the album. Just absolutely blazing guitar. I know that I'm going to say kept up with, but I don't mean literally kept up with because the whole band is just on fire here. But listen to how his guitar playing is keeping up with all these changes. Of course, everyone is. But just the way that he's hitting those chords, he's hitting this solo in like perfect line and perfect symmetry with the rhythm of the track. Which the rhythm, at least for a first listen and for a novice, is like all over the place. Like you can catch it, but they're going to be a little bit of one of those rogue waves that comes out of nowhere and you're like, what? Throws you underwater. You got salt water up in your mouth and everything. I really enjoyed how Pekka on the bass matched with the piano, who on this track seems to be maybe Ali Avenladi. Might be Ali here on the piano here. And I just like how they worked on top of each other, like that. I think that's how the rhythm went. And then at the same time, because this is Pekka's album, you would still hear him so much in the forefront. Like you would hear he has a presence in the music, which is a big shout out to the production as well. And he never is relegated to a background bass player. There's nothing wrong with that because bass is made there, of course, to drive that rhythm, but in a more melodic sense. There's nothing wrong with that because he is still doing that, but he's in the spotlight in a way, but more subtly. Because everyone's kind of in the spotlight if you're really listening and doing their own thing. This was definitely a more progressive track than the first one, but I like how it even had a few fun little turns in there to like throw you off, you know? Once again, the playing is excellent. The sax is gorgeous in here. Everything just works superbly. And as I was listening to this, I'm going to make a recommendation. I'm probably going to forget to put a link in the description, but I'll try and remember my best. If you like music like this, at least for like the first two tracks that I can base this off of, I highly recommend listening to Owani. Just listen to his album, Yeah, Whatever. He does most of the instruments in there. It's not as necessarily complicated as this. It's not as progressive. But I think if you enjoy the vibe of this album that I've heard so far, then I think you would really like his music. His album, Yeah, Whatever, is one of my favorite albums, period. I love listening to it. It's so, so good. And you'll really enjoy the guitar playing and the bass in there. If you enjoy this type of music, I'm just going to throw that out there. Let's move on. Next track, Image of a Passing Smile. Just like this. Cheerful, romantic air about it, huh? Violin now. I love a slower track like this. It's a beautiful, like, symphonic feel here. Okay, then. And still keeping the same mood. The drums didn't interrupt at all. Inspired, if anything. See, the music is encouraged now. I like how the guitar came in, kind of taking over that orchestra's. Jeez, dude. This is ear candy. It's like a street carnival. This is like a street parade. That's a carnival sound. And his bass playing still even through here. I really like how he takes his solos. Big tuba sound. Oh, that's like, what's that? Image of a Passing Smile is a track that is so like three-sided. Like there's three different faces to this particular track. Let's talk about Image of a Passing Smile. So the first half of the song, the first like 2 minutes, I would say, maybe a little bit more, is just absolutely phenomenal. Stunning orchestra, courtesy of the Helsinki Philharmonic, who are handling that big sweeping, once again moody arc in the beginning, and I think that that is fantastic. It is a very it's a very interesting way to break up like the after the first two tracks. You know, we had the kind of moody intro, the more playful fusion of the second track, and then this one kind of goes back to a moodiness, but not without some play at the end. But I like how the moodiness was brought back with that orchestra specifically. They sounded like brilliant. I loved what they were doing there. I want to say you had oboe in there as well, and then you still had Pekka kind of playing along with the orchestra. Then the drums came in. I mentioned it during the track, but when the drums came in, not only how powerful did they come in, but when they came in, it's not like it took over the orchestra's place. It's not like they came in and changed the mood of the song. No, that was to come later. They came in and added power and a certain weighty rhythm to the music at that point. The orchestra was not replaced, and as I mentioned, they even sounded more inspired and more fiery in their playing from that point forward for just a little bit. That was absolutely brilliant. And then the music begins to fade away, begins to dissolve. And like, okay, it's going down, it's fading out. We're going to recreate, we're going to rebuild. From the ashes, something new arises. And what you would expect a phoenix to rise from comes a clown. We got Pekka in the big top. Because it turns into this carnival fair, this circus music that doesn't go so far to being like clown-like. It still retains and stays within that playful, fusiony nature. So it's somewhere in between like what we had in the second track with the strong fusion, and then the moodiness of the first track, but then we move into something different, a different emotion, the playfulness, the fun, because you hear clear melodies that you would hear at like a circus. Like you hear clear melodies in there, but the way that the band is playing around that, and once again you have those moments at the end, and I love how Pekka goes off in solos because he will play along with the band and everything, but even amongst the maelstrom of the end, you have him going off on a solo. How like what? Then you have the tuba marching, and everybody just going on. And I think that the mood created here is really cool. Now, some of you know me. A lot of you know me. And you're probably wondering, JP, this song, in a way, goes through like 3, if not more, changes. And they're somewhat abrupt in their changes. Why is it that, this song, Image of a Passing Smile, you like? But another song, for example, Mike Oldfield, Taurus 2, you don't like. There's 2 things, actually 3 things. 1, they're different songs. Music hits people differently. That's all I got to... Honestly, that's the only answer. That's really the only true answer to any music question when it comes to preference. 2, it depends on how the transition is handled in some capacity, right? So here you have a fade out. It completely ends one section and then it begins a new section, even though that new section is completely different sounding from the previous. So at least that was a softening of that blow, if you will. And third, you have to like what was transitioning, the part before the transition and the part after the transition. If I really like both sides, on both sides of that transition, then I don't care how it transitioned because I like what happens on either side. Here, I like what happens on either side. There are several parts in Taurus too that I don't care what happens, and I don't like what happens on either side. I'm just like, eh. But here, I'm like, ooh. Yeah. Sorry to compare, sorry to bring, it's just the most kind of recent-ish example I could think of for those of you who may wonder that in this particular case. Anyways, enough with that. Let's move on into the next track, which is going to be Dancing in the Dark. Let's go. Bass leads to the horn melody. Those horns kind of continue on in a certain sense the melody from Image. Right, there's still that certain levity to the music. It's so funky. I like those horn steps. And he's always ripping bass. I like how Shaker was just holding it down that whole transition. Hear the trumpet just. Fancy. Oh, that monstrous riff comes in. And you know what? Pekka really does follow the piano a lot. I couldn't get you. I like that. That nice transition, that drive into this. And he's gonna get a little solo time. Oh, maybe not. I like the little hand percussion too. Every time. Every time. And as the shredder's doing this, Pekka's just... Listen to the difference. How do they follow all this? You hear the speed? Oh, now that was a drum transition. That was smooth. Dancing in the Dark was that playful prog. Dancing in the Dark was the epitome instrumentally of Dancing in the Dark. You know why? Because when you dance in the light, let me show you. Let me show you. You dance in the light, you're like, hey, let me give you some music. Let me give you some music. You dance in the light, you're like, you dance in the dark, you're like, dance in the light, dance in the dark. That was silly. The point was, in the dark, you do whatever. It don't matter because no one's seeing you. So the band here is dancing in the dark, and they are going for it. This definitely takes the fusion, the playfulness, the prog up to 11 on here, and I love it. The guitar, when that guitar riff comes in, it's so massive. And I don't know how he's playing, what he's playing, because I'm not a guitarist, I don't know. But the riff, and then you listen to Pekka and the piano in the background. They're not shredding alongside with him. They're just hitting those chords in that progressive way, like they're playing in those time signatures a little bit. Dun 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 dun. I don't know what it was, but like that. This is a good album. I'm having a lot of fun listening to this thing. And then the trumpet. The transitions are fun. The drumming was impeccable. I love the transition with the drums near the end of the track where we get the snare rolls, nice pops on the kick, and it rolls right into a smooth piece of closure. This is good. And the hand percussion. And this even kind of somewhat continues the theme from the previous track, like with that kind of circus feel. Not obviously as overt, but like you still get, like I said, the only word I can think of is that playfulness, that levity, that not taking yourself so seriously, just like kind of dancing in the dark. What better way could you put it? Let's go ahead and move on into the next track here, which is The Sighting. Ba-boom! You turn it back up. It's a jolly piano. The horns erupting, that's a massive riff. Snappy drumming too. Okay. This is such a fun little way to end this track, like we began. Okay, I want to check something out really quick on this sighting. Let me go back really quick. No, we're not remembering yet. Okay, listen to the beginning of the sighting. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so in the beginning of the sighting, the piano is doing that da 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 da, like all that, right? And then you can hear Pekka on the bass, boom, 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 right? You hear that in the beginning, like the boom, boom, boom. But at the end, we're playing the same notes, but the roles are kind of reversed. Nah, maybe I'm wrong. But it sounds like on the second, on the ending, like there's maybe guitar or something, like something stringed at the end. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm not. Listening to it back to back, it sounds kind of the same. Sounds exactly the same. Maybe I'm just thinking. I'm so wrong. Listen, you're on a video, a reaction video, listening to some guy with his first reaction, listening and not knowing what he's talking about. Sometimes you're going to end up with stuff like that. Because at first I'm listening to him like, wow, they kind of reversed the roles at the end there, which I thought was kind of cool. Nah, I go back and forth. I'm like, it's the same thing. Once again, that guitar, when it comes and just sweeps everything away. I have to say that the drums are a standout here. Once again, the drums, Visitation, just absolutely brilliant here. I like how at one point he has like the same pattern going, like da 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 ps, da 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 ps. But that at a little bit after, he adds in the toms, da 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 ps, da 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 da. Like it's just this evolution in the drums that I think is really nice. And then you also have that that really quick fill where he just kind of like he just adds like this really quick little spin, and it was just very like flashy, but not in like a demonstrative way. It's just flashy, like ooh, flash in the pan, and then it's gone back to like what we were doing before. Oh man, this is a good album. And I know I said this just a little bit ago, but I love how I actually really enjoy the changes in the music. I enjoy how much it's changing and like the diversity in the sound, because it sounds so playful, but you can like the musicianship is serious, and everything that they transition to and from is sounds so good. I love the horn sections that we hear throughout, all the trumpets, the saxophones, of course. I really enjoy their inclusion in here, and I think that that's so brilliant the way that they're playing in here. This is an album for me. Hope it's an album for you. And speaking of an album for you, it is time for the last track. You guys know I do this sometimes. I didn't wait till the end. I actually felt I would wait. I didn't do it in the middle, I should say. I waited so close to the end. I always ask in the comment section, hey guys, let me test you. How do I know that you're actually watching the whole way through? How do I know that you're still here as the video is nearing its end? And there's one way there's one way I can test you, and that's just to put in the comments whatever you see on the screen here. Let me even give you some light. Let me give you a little light so you can tell me what's hold on, let me bring you guys in a little bit. What's this? Which artist? Which artist is this? Is it focusing? Is it focused enough? Which artist is that? Just put that in the comments down below. Just put it down in the comments. Don't tell anyone else. This is our secret. You and me. This is our secret. Let's go ahead and finish out with the last track as I move my lighting. Again over here. Last track is Try to Remember. Let's dive in. bass playing with this symphony is just out of this world. Now that's how you begin to close the album. Amazing. On its own, already just majestically played. I love how slowly builds up everything is, from the beginning part even into this here. It's taking its time, taking it all in stride, enjoying the moment. Trumpets singing out. I like how the music is holding you in this big sway. Just this swing. And everything happens in the bowl of the swing. Heavy throws. Uh-oh, we might be in for something in the last minute here. Try to remember. Try to remember. Ooh, that's that's a great way to close out this album. I really personally enjoyed that we had a nice resurgence from that orchestra to close everything out because the way that they play, of course, it's beautiful, it's mesmerizing, and they hold you in their sway, especially in the music here when it gets into those heavier moments. As I was mentioning, the music, the sway of it, the swing of it, the bum 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 bum. Like I said, I couldn't help but imagine the music rhythmically as a bowl, up and down, bum bum bum, and then in the midst of that bowl, in the dip of that swing, that's when the rest of the band would fill in little things. It sounded like little keyboards fluttering and flittering about. Of course, Pekka on the bass, the drums as the hi-hats and the cymbals began to breathe a little bit more. And then we have a little bit of a solo at the end from him. Just a taste of one. And I like his solo a lot because it kind of softened up everything. It was closer to being a more atmospheric solo rather than a show-offy, kind of flashy one. Which at the end of an album, you might think, okay, here's the time to really put in that flash and put in that last ditch effort. But no, he settles for something a little bit more calm, a little bit more serene. And speaking of serene, I really love the way that this track opens with that orchestra truly breathing, Pekka putting down a basic rhythm for them, and the orchestra like really taking their emotions in stride and just getting to play and expand their horizon in this album. I just really like the orchestra's approach here. And of course, even as it moves into the second half and beyond, the orchestra remains. Nothing is taken from them. As a matter of fact, a lot is given to them and to the rest of the members here. Just an excellent way to really wrap up the album and I think leave an impression on the listener, on me, hopefully on you guys as well. I have nothing else to say on the album. I have nothing else to say on the song. That was it. Personally, I would say my favorite song really is easily the first track on here, "Strange Awakening." Easily that's my favorite track on the album. I really love the moody piano and the way like it opens up, and I love how it gets into the rest of the music there. Second favorite track, maybe "Vapor Trails." Maybe. I don't know, but "Strange Awakening" is definitely my favorite one here. I really hope that you guys enjoyed listening to the album with me. I mentioned this a lot, but as far as I know, I don't really expect this reaction video or this video in particular to get like a lot of views or anything. I don't know how many fans of Pekka Pohjola are out there. It doesn't matter. I'm here to listen to the music. In case you guys haven't noticed by the channel, I'm here to listen to the music. It's nice to have more views here and there, but I just want to listen to music and like enjoy it. And like I said, it's not like this has been requested a ton. Even though I said I do want to shout out to Linus because he did ask for more from this artist, and I was happy to because I was already planning on it to an extent. But I just like to listen to music, and this was something I personally wanted to hear. So you guys are in tow with me. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that this made your day. Or at least you maybe got something out of it. Of course, you are more than welcome to support the channel over on Patreon for as little as $2 a month. It helps me in what I do and allows me to do more here on the channel rather than do other stuff, real life stuff, basically. And even doing albums that maybe are a little bit lesser known, a little bit more niche. I don't care. I'm here for it. And I hope that you guys are as well. Thank you all so much for being here. Hope that you enjoyed the rest of your day. Stop by again tomorrow. No idea what we're doing, because I don't plan that far ahead typically. I'm just kind of going. But I hope that you guys are here for it, and I hope to see you then. See you all later.